Ian, we're looking forward to the Fife derby on Saturday, but first up, after the disappointing result up at Arbroath there, a chance to analyse and reflect on that one last time?
Yeah, analysing was difficult, that's for sure, because my gut feeling in the game, standing on the touchline with 10 minutes ago, was scratching my head and how we were trying to work out ways to earn a point, never mind try to hold on to a lead. So looking back on it as well, yeah, we lost the game on a couple of things, individual errors and collective errors. That's it. In general, how football games are won or lost. I'm still firmly behind it. Team shape, team personnel, as a collective was very, very good performances. For 70 odd minutes was really, really high. Some really good performances. Work rate 100% as always from the lads as well, which is really important. But we made silly errors, which led to goals, which unfortunately in football, scoreline is everything at this stage of the season. But certainly one of our better away performances in the last 3 to 4 months.
And I'm sure as ever you would have been brutally honest and frank with the players in the immediate aftermath and in the days afterwards. How's the response been from the guys on the training pitch? Yeah,
brilliant. The guys, look, it wasn't a night for ranting and raving, that's for sure, because I'm always try to be pretty honest and fair in my assessment of a game. It's sometimes hard straight after it. We didn't deserve to lose a game. It's pretty simple, but we did. And that's reality. So two different things completely. So frustration for the players, there's no doubt about it. Frustration for the supporters and staff. But like I've said all season, we take the hits together, we move on together, and it wasn't a night where the players needed criticism. It wasn't a night when the players needed shouting and bawling at them, that's for sure, because they'd done everything that I asked of them apart from hold on to the lead. But again, that's the most important thing, so we have to learn from it, move on from it and get ready for the next one.
And after 3 games in 6 days, we had no midweek game this week, so plenty of time to get a plan in place for the weekend. Dunfermline coming here, they're getting the players back from injury, and we know it's going to be another tough task.
Absolutely. Dunfermline's games this season against us been very, very competitive, very, very tight. They've had horrific injury problems themselves, and I look back to our squad last year, what we had to deal with. I know how hard it is. So a team that's come up from the division below as well in their first season back in this league, to cope with that many injuries and still be in the hunt for the playoff position, deserve a lot of credit. And James has come through that sort of up and down period fairly well. 2 great wins in their last 3 games, going to Firhill and winning by the margin they did, and showing the composure and quality that they have is very, very difficult. And then to follow that up with a fantastic win against Ayr as well, who we know are a hard side, and disappointed they will be on Tuesday night. There's no question about that. But if you ask any manager or team this season in this league if there's been disappointments, of course there has. So we expect a tough game. They've recruited really well in the January window as well. They look like they've got the confidence back a little bit. They'll come here potentially last derby this season. No fear. I wouldn't expect them to. I don't think it's a league where teams fear each other. It's a league where teams know if they're not on it and the other side is, and they'll probably lose the game. So that's our mantra this week. Make sure we're ready. Make sure we're ready for the atmosphere of the game. Make sure we're ready for the intensity, the tempo of the game. And I'm always a firm believer in the amount of quality players that we have, and if we can do that, then the quality shines through.
And in this season and this amazing run of goals, victories and losses by one single goal throughout for us, obviously we've had that success against Dunfermline, but conversely they'll be looking at the fact that it's only 1 goal between us in all the games, apart from the cup victory obviously.
Yeah,
and that's going to be a big factor.
Yeah, of course. We saying earlier, we've played very well in some games and won by the odd goal. We've played okay in others and lost by the odd goal. So that's how tight it is. I think that the derbies this season, and I know we've won. I think it's 4. I don't know, something like that. But our performance has been all right. They've not been brilliant. We've had to show a different side of our game, especially at East End in the league games. We've had to battle like mad. They easily could have been home wins or draws. That's how tight it is. The cup game's slightly different. I felt that's been our 2 best performances against Dunfermline. The first game of the season here, and the Scottish Cup tie at East End. But in terms of between the sides, in terms of margins, very, very small, very, very little. Be the same on Saturday. I'm very sure of that. I don't think derbies are particularly one-sided very often. We'd love it to be one-sided in our favour and enjoy the afternoon, but it's about 3 points. As I said, potentially the last meeting between us this season. So if we can go 6 undefeated, that'd be fantastic, and if we can do it with 5 wins out of 6, even better.
Going into any game, the talk is always about the lineup, what the lineup could be. I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you about our formation, shape or strategy, But a player that's going to come to us that will play against potentially Saturday, Chris Kane. I didn't realise that you'd worked with him before at Dumbarton. What's your memories of working with Chris?
Yeah, fantastic. When Chris was at Dumbarton, really good. We took him on a pretty much a recommendation. He was only a young player, but I think I might be corrected here. And certainly at one point he had the longest running streak of goals for Dumbarton. Scored so many winners for us towards the end of the games. Not brilliant goals all the time, but they all count and they all get the same amount of goals for it when it hits the net. So I had a fantastic time working with Chris. His running in behind was just brilliant. His work rate was phenomenal. He formed a brilliant partnership with our strikers at the time, Gary Fleming, Colin Nish. Obviously then broke into the St Johnstone side, doing really well, and I thought he might have actually moved on from St Johnstone, if I'm being honest. I certainly would have had a wee chance on him, but then he took the bad injury to his knee, which is a real shame and curtailed him. But good player, really good player, and he'll suit Dunfermline really well, because out of all the attributes Dunfermline have, put that ball in, they've got two really good wide players who whiz the ball in and make you defend, and as any good striker will tell you, that's what they want, and Chris is a good striker.
Any derby, it's always interesting, these little matchups from the past that come together in a game as big as this. But obviously what's going to add to the atmosphere is the crowd, like approaching a sellout in the home end, and the way tickets are selling well as well. Good again to perform and show what we can do in front of a big crowd. Absolutely. I think we're 300-400 tickets left, last I was told, so I expect they'll be gone. So for us to have that many supporters again is phenomenal testament to what we've done this season and how well the supporters have backed the club and the players. That's for sure. I have to say I've enjoyed the Fife derbies immensely. I'd never experienced one as on this side of it before, or as a player. I'd only been to one, I think, as a spectator, which was at East End. So I've really enjoyed them. I've enjoyed the atmosphere. I've enjoyed the way the games have been played in the right spirit, and there's been a couple of wee fiery moments in there, but nothing over the top and nothing overboard, which is great from both sets of players and supporters. And I know we had a poor incident after the last one, but it happens, unfortunately, and young people can it's always a minority that make the biggest noise, unfortunately. So look forward to it again. I hope we get a packed out away end as well, because both sets of supporters should enjoy derby games. Of course, we're both desperate to win them, but we have to do it in the right manner. We have to behave ourselves in the right manner, and my message to the players is as well, we must behave ourselves. We must maintain that our actions sometimes can spill over onto the stands. Great, thanks for that, and good luck for the weekend.
Thank you.
Cheers.